Today we're going to talk about the top 5 places to start your romance novel. Now, just to be clear, there is no right or wrong answer, but there is a lot of suggestions on the better places to start your story at. So we're going to go over those today. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa, best-selling romance author of the Cinderella and Her Seven Guards series, and on this channel we talk all about romance writing, specifically for newbie and aspiring romance authors. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday. Now today we're talking about what's the best place to start your story at, and honestly, it really depends on the story that you're telling, the elements that you want to set up ahead of time, what type of story promise you are trying to make to the reader, and, in general, what I guess feels most natural. Now, if you're like me and you're starting out and you're just like, I'm not really sure what feels most natural, I'm just gonna go with some of the suggestions that people have. Well, I will share some of those suggestions with you. But first, I just wanted to suggest the favorite book, the best book that I found on this is by Nancy Kress, and it's called Beginnings, Middles, and Ends. And she talks about the beginning chapter as well as the second chapter. And honestly, I think this was excellent. If you were going to ever read a book, this is the one. I'll leave a link for it below. It is an older book, but honestly, I haven't found anything else better than that talks about beginnings and what should really be included in the book, as well as a really good breakdown of the craft of things to consider while you're writing the beginning of your book and what should be in there. So let's go over my top 5 list. And the first one is the meet cute. It's a romance, so you could definitely start with the meet cute right away. Nothing wrong with that. The second one is to do a slower start with like a lot of rich character development, and that's because every story has a transformation arc for your character. So this is an opportunity for you to really explore their before state of being. So like my favorite movie, Trainwreck, it shows her having a one-night stand, not really caring, being very selfish. So this is her the beginning, the before picture of her before her transformation arc. Same thing if you're writing, say, paranormal, and you're a chosen one or you have special abilities, it would be a really great place to start out with your character being an everyday human, having problems and having no idea that she has these special abilities. The third one is media res, which means starting right away in an action scene, a suspense scene, a scary thriller scene, someone's chasing you. I think this works really well for romantic suspense, for urban fantasy, paranormal, science fiction, anything where the reader is expecting a lot of action. Why not go ahead and start the story off with a lot of action? The fourth one is a theme question. Now, I think this is really good for Christian romance, where you could answer a bigger question, like most women probably who are interested in this subgenre of, is it possible for a woman, a single girl, to find a good Christian man? And this could be done through a conversation, through a situation, something that really establishes that this is the theme of this book and what we're going to try to answer as we progress along in these pages. The fifth one is to foreshadow something. So if you know that someone is going to be a bad guy later, or if it's a mystery, you could have that first scene just sort of foreshadowing that person later. Just like when you hear about mysteries, you should never find out who the killer is in the very last chapter. Like, it shouldn't be a total stranger that came out of nowhere. You should foreshadow that person maybe was evil or had helped give the reader a little bit of clues beforehand, and you could do that with your foreshadowing opening to meet that particular suspect. So all great things. Tons of 100 other ways to start your novel that I'm probably missing. But those were the top ones that I found for romance novels. So let's just recap that really quickly. The first one is to start out with the meet cute. The second is to start out with a really rich character development to show a good before picture. The third one is to start out in media res, great for action type of books. And the fourth one is a theme question. And the fifth one is to do a foreshadowing type of scene. All right, I hope that was helpful, or at least gave you some ideas. Go ahead and leave some of your other ideas below on what has worked for you on where to start your romance novel. All right, I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. And remember, if you want, I have a free 5-day course called How to Plot Your First Romance Novel. So I will leave the link to that below. All right, I will see you guys on Monday. Bye.